Miyom Tov La'avel, from a day of celebration to a day of mourning. That's where we find ourselves today, on this Lag Bomer, but not a Lag Bomer of joy. A Lag Bomer marked by the profound tragedy that occurred last night in Meron, where dozens of our brothers and sisters, hundreds, thousands, were impacted, injured, and killed by the horrific stampede that occurred at the tomb of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Lag Bomer is a day where we celebrate the teachings of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the teachings which make the foundation of the Kabbalah, of Jewish mysticism. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Rashbi, a key thread, a key foundation of his teachings was the interconnectedness of the Jewish people, how we share soul roots with one another, how our souls are bound up together and connected, and how we're not just individuals living in this planet all alone, but rather we're part of a collective spiritual entity called the Jewish people. It's a very profound teaching, and one of the other profound teachings of this day is the teaching of Rabbi Akiva. You should love your fellow as yourself, love your neighbor as yourself. It's a song we sing a lot today. And I was hoping this would be a Lag Bomer of joy, of singing those songs and feeling those feelings of connection, spiritual connection with our Jewish brothers and sisters across the world, of every denomination, of every stripe, of every kind. But instead, it's a day where we feel those feelings, but from a profound sense of mourning and loss. What happened in Meron was not just a tragedy for those who died, or for those who were injured, or for their families. It was not just a tragedy for Israel. It was not just a tragedy for the Haredi community. It's a tragedy for every single one of us, each and every member of Klal Yisrael. This is our tragedy. And that's the teaching of Lag Bomer, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that we are all connected. It's not always easy to be connected. It's not always easy to love our neighbors as ourselves. Sometimes our neighbors are very different. No doubt, some of us are different in our hashkafa, in our philosophy, in our practice, in our values, in some ways than some of our brothers and sisters who perished in Meron, are part of that different Toldos Aaron sect where many died, but others as well. Gur, I was reading some of the biographies of people who died this morning, really a cross-section, and there are many who are still missing. Nonetheless, even if we are different, even if we have different values or look different or dress different, the teaching of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the teaching of Lag Bomer, is to strive to love one another. Not in spite of, but maybe even because we're different. Because that's the avoda. That's what makes it powerful. To recognize that as Jews, we have different roles in the world. We have different expressions of what it means to be a Jew. But at the end of the day, it's all part of a collective unity. And each and every one of us has an important part to play, even if they're different. This year especially, I'm thinking about our Haredi brothers and sisters. No doubt I have differences philosophically with the Haredi world. But if you look at what this year has meant in the Haredi community, so difficult. The early losses of COVID, the pain of lockdown on large families locked in small apartments. And now this, a horrific tragedy that took many lives and will no doubt affect many people for many years to come. So I want to encourage us this Lag Bomer to really lean deep into that spirit of Achdut, especially when it's a little difficult, to really lean into that feeling of love and connection for our Jewish brothers and sisters, wherever they are, whoever they are, especially after this very difficult year. The Ramban teaches, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, to love our fellow as ourselves. One way to do this is to simply want the things for the other that we will want for ourselves. To say, you know what, I want to be healthy, I want to have a functional family, I want to have enough parnasa to get by, and to desire those things for our brothers and sisters. To desire for every Jew the same things we would want for ourselves, really for every person, for every human being, the same things we would want from ourselves. That's the secret to Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And I find that a powerful way to level things out. When I encounter someone who's very different than me, who looks different, who sounds different, who acts different, I think, you know what? The same things at the end of the day we want for one another. We want to feel safe. We want to feel secure. We want to feel happy. We want to feel connected. We want to feel love. And I wish those things for that person, just like I wish them for me. Let's really do that this Lag Bomer. Think about a Jewish person that may be different than you. Maybe call them up. Take this tragedy and try to make some good out of it. Call someone who is different than you, or send an email or even a post on a Facebook. Just send love. Send love and healing to our Jewish brothers and sisters, whoever they are, wherever they are. Because this has been a year where we need it, and now after this incident in Meron, it's a time when we all need it. So let it be a Lag Bomer of Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, of reaching out and sending love to our Jewish brothers and sisters. Let it be a Lag Bomer of feeling that connection, that oneness, that spiritual unity in spite of or because of our differences, knowing that we are different but we are still one. And let it be hopefully Lag Bomer. It's probably too soon to heal yet. We're still reeling, but let's pray for healing, and pray for healing for those who are injured. Pray for healing for those who are so affected. Pray for the neshamot, the holy souls who perished. Perhaps it's some comfort, the smallest comfort, that those who died on the yahrzeit of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, died on a very holy day. And perhaps it's some comfort that their souls are bound up in those holy realms with the other holy souls who perished on this day. Also the Ramah, Rav Moshe Israeli's very holy day. And maybe it'll be some comfort to their neshamot and to their families to know that hopefully we will turn this tragedy, this horrible thing, into an opportunity for connection, an opportunity for Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, for love between the Jewish people. And if we do that, perhaps there'll be some measure of comfort and consolation for the neshamot. Shabbat Shalom.